What's up, peeps? I haven't done a longer form video in some time, so I thought I might as well make one for you guys off the bat. Let's see if I can get this light set up a little good. I think that's good enough. Okay, sorry I haven't shaved. I'm letting it grow out a little bit, letting the garden flourish. But, I was on this quest of love, or quest of figuring out what love really is, because it seems that many of the activities that we observe in our life don't come from it. It doesn't come from love. It's repetitive and maybe damaging. So then we must ask, what does love look like? So if a man loved himself and a man loved the world, what would this look like? And it came apparent to me that, we often think that we need all the love, right? But in an equal sense, an equal and opposite sense, I think love can't exist if there is no give and receive. So there would be no reason for love. There would be no need for love. Let's say, for instance, if I didn't exist, as opposed to the world or the creator, originator, whatever you would want to say. So it's almost as if, and here we're going to take a little leap, in kind of mundane terms, you could say God needs our love, or our love fuels God. And if we want to take that word God out, because it's been so dirtied, right? The world needs your love. You may think like, oh, I grew up without love, or I'm not capable of receiving love and hence giving love, right? Because the giving love is the receiving love, right? It's the same. It's almost like the people who know how to be loved are really good at giving it out. So, now the rain joins me. But to me, it seems that if we really love the world, which is ourselves, right? Because the world is in us, in each cell is the world, then we should act accordingly. And it seems that if we really love this world, that we could save it for the next generation, which would probably fall in line with regeneration. Regenerating the nation, if you will. And so, that's the question I want to go on with you today is life, love, and truth. Because you can't have any without each other. Because the truth gives me life, but love also gives me life, right? But if there's no, if there's no life, is there need for love or truth? It's almost like there's life in the truth. So it just goes all ways around, right? It's like, in the truth, I feel love. In life, I feel love. So perhaps this is a trinity. Perhaps life is the feminine aspect of it all, the animator, and then truth is the logos or the sun. I don't know, and life is the father. I don't know. You could interpret it as anything. You could say life is the rebirth. But anyhow, it seems like these three words are inseparable. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments if you think differently. But this seems to be kind of a natural conclusion that can arise in one's mind. But I was really feeling the other day that the world really wants our love. Just as each cell in your body wants your love, wants your attention, wants your support, wants you to move in cohesion with the earth and the universe. But in the same way as the cell demands love, earth demands love. Earth is the big cell. And we can treat it like it's a prison cell and bang on the walls and hate what it is for what it's worth, but I don't think that's the way. I think it could be a cell in a very liberating way, like a paradox that we are enclosed here, but at the same time, in our enclosure, we are free to expand, grow, learn, thrive, plant, experience abundance, perhaps also experience scarcity if need be. So, again, that's the question is, if the world needs your love, what are you doing? If the world loves you and wants you to love it, what are you really doing with yourself? So that's a good question. And just as Taylor Durden and on YouTube and Pharaoh's House was going into in all these recent talks is like autonomous breatharian community. That to me just sounds like love, where everything is put in its right place. And I struggle with these things at times, but it's like the pleasures. I mean, you can't really love pleasure, right? Because pleasure is so small in the overarching theme of love, but then people try to make pleasure more pleasurable than love, and then it becomes a form of hate almost. So it's not a complete love. It's not a natural love. An unnatural love is excessive pleasure, right? You could put it that way. So I know I'm saying a lot of things very quickly, but bear with me. So yeah, it seems as if that if you emphasize on pleasure unnaturally, perhaps that's what's destroying this world. Perhaps that's what's destroying us. And then if this pleasure principle or this dopamine principle was just put in its natural, right, species-specific place, then we could figure out the reason for why we're here, why we have this body, and why the body functions in this way, and what are the organs used for when there is presence of food going through it versus when there is not. Things would be, I think, much more clear for us. So I would say, and I would ask to you, ponder that question of, what's your role in all of this when the world demands for your attention, demands for your action, demands for your presence. So, yeah, because it's like a child, right? Like a child demands that a child is like a flower. So perhaps we're like a flower to God, right? When you look at a flower, you kind of watch it bloom. And I guess if it's like an eternal flower, it could bloom forever. And then you usually watch it wither away, like a thought or, a chance or a event that encourages maturity or wisdom, right? So, in the same sense, the world watches us as a flower, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a dead end kind of metaphor that I'm making for you guys, but it's like, just the joy and the love of looking at a flower and watching its beauty as something you cannot hold, because it's like if you cut the flower and put it in a vase, it's such a dead beauty. And in the same sense, if we just leave ourselves in a natural capacity to love each other and to live, then it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to think about what we can do if we leave a group of people and a community, and ever expanding, that allows those members to just live in love and peace and harmony without the need for much confusion. Because, yeah, I mean, I've been kind of posting that recently too, as you guys can see. It seems like there is so much confusion in the world. There's so much noise. Like, if you especially enter into the internet or your computer or social media, it's like there's so many roads of intense confusion, confusing distractions that want to suck you in so fast. I mean, for me, even something as frivolous as watching like natural videos of like animals eating each other, or some beautiful dance that a bird does to court, or all these things is also kind of a distraction. I mean, it's beautiful because it's nature, but so I guess there's the pros and cons of this beautiful distraction that we have in front of ourselves that we call the internet and perhaps each other in society. But yeah, seems like many people are very distracted and confused, and all the things that don't really matter at the end of the day. What really matters at the end of the day is, what did you do here for Earth? What did you do for the trees, for your fellow human beings, for the children to come in the future? I think that's what matters. And since it's raining so hard, I think I'll end it there. But many people are so confused when it's really as easy as just take one step forward in a way that's less confusing. So perhaps if we all got together and found out what's at the root of this confusion, and perhaps what's at the root of this confusion, which is my question, is perhaps it's a lack of love. Oh, is the rain going down a little bit? Because again, the world needs that love that you have. And yeah, you need the world's love, or you need to love yourself. Like, if you're looking at yourself, it's the world looking at this physical being and this physical body, right? So the world is looking at yourself. When I'm looking at me, who's looking at me? It's the world looking at me, right? Because who's to say I am me and not the world? So in the same sense, if we arrive at love, it's like, again, a person watching a dog play, or a parent watching a kid play. It's like, in the playing, there's this innocent love and balance and peace. So can we be like little children, innocently playing while the world watches us? I'll speak no more.